Why? Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine. Welcome to a new Outlander review. This week's episode was called Prestonpans. Let's talk about it. First, some quick thoughts. Now that Claire and Jamie have decided that they were not going to stop the Jacobites, but instead help them, I think we saw in this episode that that's still not going to be that easy to change the outcome of the war, because Jamie is just one person and there's so much that he can influence. We saw that when Charles was getting advice from a few different people, and you know, as much as Jamie might want to be like, I think you should do this, I think you should do this, I think you should listen to me, he can't force him to listen to him. So it's still hard. In the previous episode, Dougal said that he would be willing to die for Scotland, and I think he kind of proved that he really would. When he walked towards the British camp, he's willing to do what it takes. Now, Dougal is still Dougal, but I thought that was a really good moment. Let's move on to the battle. So I thought the interesting thing about this is that Claire technically knows they're going to win the battle, but I think there's still a question of whether that's still happening, because just the fact of Claire being in the past could have changed the outcome. So at this point, she doesn't know if what she knew before is still relevant right now. And two, just because they win the battle, she still doesn't know who's gonna make it out alive, because Jamie could die, Dougal could die. I mean, a lot of people obviously died, so it's still very stressful. And I like that it's just, I kind of know some things, but it's still not 100% helpful. Which of course creates a lot of tension and a lot of drama, which makes it really fun to watch and stressful for us too. Speaking of stressful, the whole scene of them in the fog ready to attack the British camp, and with it being really quiet and just the music kind of guiding us in the fog, I thought it was such a beautiful scene. I was like, of course, I was also freaking out because Fergus was there. What the hell, Fergus? Don't do this to me. Thankfully, he made it out alive, because for a little bit there, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna die. He's totally gonna die. Of course he's gonna die. Why wouldn't he die? But he didn't die, so. And that leads me to talk about the post-battle events. Now, before delving into the really sad and dark parts of the post-battle, I did like that they had an ounce of uplifting scene in a way, where Jamie is betting to an English soldier that he can pee in the jar. I thought this was a great moment of we're all human, we're all in this together, and I think Charles also told him, well, you know, you're gonna have to be friends with them, so might as well start. And I like that, you know, Jamie was like, I bet you I can pee in this jar. And he's like, well, take that bet, yeah. As I mentioned, even though Dougal had a great moment earlier in the episode, he's still Dougal. And I think his hatred of the British is kind of blinding him a little bit, which leads him to, you know, make a little bit of a mistake, which Jamie, interestingly enough, finds this as an opportunity to get him away from him in a way, but still not making him too mad at him. I think Dougal explains it best when he says,
you champion me and you exile me both at the same time.
He tells Jamie that that reminds him of his brother, Colum, which I think for me relates back to my previous review where I said I think we're seeing Jamie become more and more of a leader. He has certain qualities that Dougal certainly doesn't have, which is why I think a lot of people are following Jamie. I think Dougal is certainly recognizing those qualities in Jamie now more than ever. Finally, Angus. And I'm so mad that they did this to us. First of all, when Angus did the whole what's mine is yours, which was a really great moment, you knew that's foreshadowing for something. So you're already on the edge of like, oh my God, which one is it gonna be? Which one is it gonna be? And you get kind of a fake out with Rupert getting cut, and you're like, oh no, there we go. Of course one of them is gonna die. But the whole time that Claire is kind of fixing Rupert and it seems like he's okay, and after we see that Angus kind of got blown up a little bit, I was looking at him like a hawk, like, oh my God, there's something wrong. Claire, why won't you look at his body? Like, I didn't understand why Claire wouldn't just kind of look at him a little more thoroughly than just like, oh, you look okay. I'm like, but baby, you can't see. So I was already kind of expecting something to happen, because I'm like, just lift his shirt, look over, like, just do something. Don't just be like, well, okay, you look kind of fine. Like, no, he doesn't look kind of fine. I mean, he might look fine, but he's not fine. So when it did happen, I was like, I knew it, and damn it. Why? And in just this perfect way of dealing with it, Rupert just claiming the sword that Angus had promised him. It's like even more heartbreaking that if he had like cried and broken down when he realized that Angus had died, and it's just Overall, a pretty sad episode. Things are getting harder. Things are getting more dangerous. I think France was kind of the lighter side of the season, and now we're getting to the like dark, sad war second half. Who knows how we're coming out of this one, because it's not looking really good. Those were my thoughts on this episode. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Are you like heartbroken over Angus? Did you freak out about Fergus maybe dying too? I mean, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss any of my Outlander reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye! I'm just so mad that they just killed him off after like, what, 2 episodes that we've seen him? Like, really? This whole season I'm like, I miss the guys, really. And then they just take him away. Like, that's just not nice. Outlander, that's not nice.